Hey there, welcome to a brand new episode of Muzikxpress. My name is Twan and in this week's vlog you will see my interview with Michael Parsberg about the Safri Duo classic Play the Live, the Bongo Song. But before we start with the interview, please make sure to subscribe to my channel and very important, also make sure to click the bell button because then you will get a notification the next time a new vlog is online. Alright, here it is, the story behind Play the Live, the Bongo Song by Safri Duo, my interview with Michael Parsberg. Enjoy! Michael Parsberg is a Danish DJ and producer who's active in the music scene for a very long time already. In the past, he was involved with projects such as Balthazar, Matanka, Fairlite and many others. But he was also involved with one of the biggest dance tracks of the year 2000. Play the Live, the Bongo Song by Safri Duo. The track became a massive hit and it reached the #1 position in the charts of Denmark and Switzerland. Furthermore, it became a top 10 hit in more than 10 other countries. It also got the silver, golden and platinum status in many countries, and it is worth mentioning that Play the Live got awarded 6 times platinum in their home country Denmark. At the time of editing this vlog, the official music video of Play the Live, the Bongo Song just reached 100 million plays on YouTube. And also on Spotify, the track is getting very close to 100 million streams. During the Amsterdam Dance event in October 2023, I had a chance to sit down with Michael Parsberg to ask him if he could share the story behind Play the Live, the Bongo Song and more. My first question to him was how old he was when he started to listen to music.
I think that was like in preschool or something like that. I mean, like mid 80s, around that time. And my first record I got from my sister, that was Beastie Boys.
Oh, Beastie Boys. Oh, nice one. Yeah. Which track was it?
It was the album.
Oh, the album.
Yeah. It's the first album.
Was it the one with like Fight for Your Right and stuff like that?
Yes, with the airplane on.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So which other artists or acts did you listen to back then?
In the beginning, I really liked the early hip hop stuff. Like in the late 80s and stuff like that. And then I got into, house music with 2 of my friends. We're doing some local radio stuff and we got into that. I mean, we also listened to Pet Shop Boys and whatever, electronic pop music, which was at the time. But I was really into the hip hop stuff. And then around 89, I think, we went to the local record store called Street Dance Records, which was like, that was a place to be to get new music. Mm-hmm. And the guy who owned it, he was kind of a special weirdo. He would shout at people, "You need this record. If you can't hear it's a hit, leave my store." He was like that. And he kind of pushed us to listen to some more progressive music, and then we got into electronic. And I remember I bought the very first release or rendition or whatever of Age of Love, which actually came out in 89 or early 90, I think.
So Dicky Records, I think?
Yes. And that really got me into trance.
Yeah.
Because that was like the beginning. Mm-hmm. And then obviously Sven Feth, he was, considered Goa trance back then. Not techno, but some weird combo. So it was kind of that kind of music and obviously like hip house and acid house and all that.
Yeah.
What I really liked about that period was that it wasn't just one thing. It was everything, it could be jungle, it could be, techno, it could be hardstyle, it could be whatever electronic music, you fancied.
Yeah.
It was just everything.
Yeah.
And that kind of hooked me and I was like, I like this.
Yeah. So before you started making music, what line of study or work did you want to pursue before you started making music?
Before I started making music, I wanted to become a doctor. Actually, first of all, I wanted to be an audio engineer. Mm-hmm. But there was no education in Denmark that, where you could study to become an audio engineer. So I was like, okay, what else can I do with audio? And I looked it up and I'm like, oh, audiology, hearing. Oh, that's fine. I'll do that. Mm-hmm. So I started that, and then I found out, I think I want to be a doctor instead. But then I started, having success producing music, and I was like, oh, studies can wait a little bit. Yeah, it can wait. And then I started making music and pursuing that. I still had my audiology degree to fall back to if I wanted to do that.
Okay.
So I would say what do I have? I have audiology.
Yeah. So around what age did you really start like making music?
I started with two friends in a basement at my friend's house, and that was at the age of 15, 16. Yeah. 15, 16 we started, back then there was no DAWs and all that shit, so it was hardware, and we had to save up money, and we had paper routes, and we worked storage houses and all that stuff to save up money. And my friend, he bought a sampler. I bought a 909 and a Juno 106, so we could make some music, and we bought a distortion pedal. And
so you all got your equipment together in a little studio.
Yeah, in a little studio. So we bought a little bit everybody, and then we just met in the basement after school and made music.
Ah, cool. So do you recall your very first ever release?
Yes, of course. It's funny enough, 30 years ago.
Yeah. Oh, congratulations.
This month. Thank you. Yes, we do. I do, and that was with the two friends I had, Henrik, and they. We had so much fun. We did a local radio thing together, and we went to raves together, underage raves, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And we had the very first record we did was on Adam and Eve Records, a German techno label.
Yeah. So what was it called?
It was called Barbecue, which is a weird name. We had to figure a name out, and it was an EP with 4 tracks, and that was like hard techno. And I mean, we didn't know anything about making music. We just thought it was fun. So it was mixed on a phonic DJ mixer with 3 EQs on it, and just everything went through a distortion pedal, and then we just recorded to that tape and sent it off to the record label.
As long as they wanted to release it should have been good.
Yeah, that was amazing.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
So you have been involved with lots of projects, but your most successful release ever is for sure Play the Life, the Bongo Song, which came out in the year 2000 under the project name of Safri Duo.
Yep.
That's the track we're going to talk about in this walk. The two guys who are behind Safri Duo are, and I hope I pronounce this right, Uffe Safri and Morten Fries.
Yes, so it's Uffe Safri and Morten Fries.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
I knew I would do this well.
Yeah.
So first things first, do you remember meeting them for the very first time?
Yeah, of course I do. So a little bit of backstory before I met them was that I was growing tired of making music at the time, because I did a lot of remixes and it never really, amounted to anything. I did a lot of DJ gigs in Copenhagen in various underground clubs, playing techno and trance and all that, from like the early 90s up till the late 90s. I'm like, okay, I think it's time to pursue the doctor thing. So I enrolled to university, and I had decided to quit music. I'm like, okay, now it's time to grow old. And then a guy from Universal Music Denmark, he called me up and said, I have these 2 guys, classical musicians. They want to try something different than classical music. They had been to Gatecrasher when they were doing a classical show in England, and they went to Gatecrasher and they found that music interesting. I'm like, okay, I'll have a chat with them. So I went there, brought my Roland JP8080, and went to have a chat, and we just listened to whatever they had recorded, and prepared for that for me to listen to. And okay, it's interesting, a little bit weird. Obviously it's classical music, so it was no repetitions. Everything was all over the place, right? Notes-wise and stuff. Really good, equilibristic, and all that was really good, but it couldn't really translate to electronic music. And then Uffe said to Morten, hey, let's play the bongo solo. And he was like, no, nobody wants to hear bongos. I'm like, okay, let's listen to it. And they played this piece, 10-minute bongo solo, which was just bongos all over the place. And all of a sudden, within that part, there was da-da-da-da. And I was like, oh, that's great. That has something. That's a good starter thing. Let's look at that. And then came all these other phrases from the song, like da 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 da. All the parts which you hear in the song were in there, and we're like, we can. This is good. We can do something, because the drums were singing. You know, it felt like a song. It felt like vocals, but with drums. And that day, that very same day, we made the foundation for Play. Not the final product, but I would say 80% of the song was made that day.
Yeah. Oh, wow. So who came up with the main melody of the track?
The thing is, I had this ringtone on my phone, which was Liebe, the melody that Isla used, but originally from Cosmic Baby, on my phone. And Morten, who's like a super talented and gifted musician, and he's a conductor as well. You know, he can hear the craziest things in his head. He was like playing chords to back up my ringtone, and we're like, that's fucking great chords. Let's do some rank 1-ish style thing with those chords, you know. So we put out the JP8080 and started, you know, to build something. And then we couldn't really make it sound like rank 1. Just wasn't good enough for that. I'm like, okay, let's get some Ferry Corsten style vibes on this, because that would be really well, because we had the 138 tempo and the drums were energetic, and we needed something to break away from the drums and like, you know, we need that kind of rhythm, right? And then Morten, he was like, oh, why don't we do this? And he changed, like, he kind of reversed the first part of the melody. I'm like, that's perfect. That's exactly what we need. I mean, when we did that, I had instant goosebumps. I knew that this was special. I didn't know that it would become successful, but I just knew that it was special. And I immediately felt good.
So what other equipment was used for the track?
We didn't use that much, to be honest. We used Logic 5 with the Pro Tools backend for recording. And then we used the JP8080. We used a Access Virus 1. And we used, that's it. Those two. And then we used an Akai sampler for the bass drum, which I think is from, it's a 909, processed 909, which we stole from For an Angel. And I just processed it a little bit. And then the claps is also a 909 from my old 909 drum machine.
You still have it?
I still have it. I still have all my old equipment.
So what was the most difficult part of the production?
I think the most difficult part was probably convincing Universal Music that this was actually a good song.
Yeah, because you told me they were not really convinced in the beginning.
No, I mean, the A&R guy, he was like super progressive, and he loved it. But the thing is, the first version we did was 10 minutes long, because we wanted to be like a journey into drums. But obviously you can't, I mean, a record label that the same people that put out Aqua Barbie Girl, they just couldn't, see how we're going to sell this. But the A&R guy, he was like, I'm convinced we can do something about this. So the first thing we did was trying to shorten it, to create a viable version of what we had. So we actually made a lot of versions of it, and that was probably what took the longest time. And then to have the drums sit and work properly. But the fun part back then was every instrument, every percussion instrument, everything which was there, from the weird woo sounds, those are actually percussion sounds recorded. So like we had these long carpet tubes, and then Uffe and Morten would play them with mouse pads, and they created those weird sounds, which is in the breakdown. And like everything from the little hi-hats to the little blips and blobs, everything is played live, which is why it's called Played Live.
In a good one. Yeah. So Play It Live was the debut track for Safri Duo, and I think it's safe to say this one became a massive hit. The single topped the chart in your home country, Denmark, where it became 6 times platinum. But it was a top 10 hit in countries such as the UK, Germany, the Netherlands, Spain, Norway, Finland, Sweden, Belgium, and the list goes on and on. It received the silver, gold, and platinum status in several countries as well. And by the time of recording this interview, the official video of Play It Live has almost 100 million views on YouTube. And on Spotify, it's getting close to 100 million plays as well. That's not bad for their debut track.
It's pretty good, I have to say. I mean, I'm surprised.
Yeah. So I mean, you said you felt you had something special, but you never expected this.
No, I made a lot of records before that, like a lot of records and remixes and all that. I never had that feeling I had that with that song, that it just felt right in a weird way.
Yeah.
So I knew we had something special, but I just didn't know that we had like that kind of a hit record, and the way it became a hit record was not like things today. There was no social media, there was no nothing. So the what we had to do to get it out to the people, to the masses, was we went to Love Parade in Berlin, and we had a club back then called Gorgeous in Copenhagen, and we had this truck from that club. By the way, the smallest truck on all of Love Parade. And I remember we had Ingo, Ayla, DJ Tandu was there, and we played it. We burned a CD, played it there, and immediately we had everybody come to our truck to listen to that weird bongo thing. We played it like 5 times. And that's when I knew something was good. And I immediately called Uffe and Morten and said, I think we have something. It's they love it.
Yeah.
And we had, I remember Margie Claude, Mark Romboy and Klaus Dirks, who had Alphabet City from back then, and they were really good friends of mine. They're like, yeah, we want this record. And I'm like, yeah, but it's kind of already signed to Universal Denmark. And we had a lot of prominent DJs, from Tom Wax to Warmduscher to all these Blank & Jones guys, all these German DJs wanted a copy of it. So at first what we did, we had some acetates made, 10 acetates was made, and we sent to Just Juice in the UK and a few in Germany, and when Just Juice played it on his radio show, we were like, whoa, what? It was like the biggest day ever. I'm like, what the hell? It was just amazing. And then we knew, okay, we have to do some more. So we had the A&R guy kind of say to the Universal Denmark that we need to make some test pressings, like real white labels and stuff. And they're like, we don't really understand it. Is it really worth it? I'm like, and then he just did it. So we're going to do it. So we did it, and a friend of mine who has a promotion company in Denmark, he also used to be a radio DJ called LP Støvring. He and we went to Ibiza and passed around, went to all the clubs, to all the DJs, and passed around white labels. And we just put a phone number on the white label, nothing else. And the week after, the phone started ringing, and then everybody wanted the record. But it was already signed to Universal, so it had to go on a Universal label, which ended up being AMPM.
Yeah. And they got was it Nick Sentience remix, I think?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Do you remember hearing the track on the radio for the first time? Was that the Just Jules show, or was it somewhere else?
Radio-wise, it was, but it with Jules it was different, because we heard it. It was difficult back then, because we had it wasn't real radio like in Denmark. But I do remember the first time I heard it in the radio in Denmark. I was actually driving my car, and the radio was just on, and then all of a sudden, what the hell? And I had to stop my car and just crank up the volume and just smile.
Yeah, that must have been like a very special moment.
Yes, yes, it was.
So did you join the guys as well for trips abroad? So, for example, the Top of the Post broadcast and Trance Energy in 2001?
I actually went to both of those, yes. Yeah. So we traveled around a bit, but for most of the shows we didn't. I just because I used it as leverage to go out and play the trance that I loved.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Also, you combined it with a DJ gig as well. Then.
Yeah, of course. So we went around.
So yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but you're usually a bit more behind the scenes, and we did hardly ever see you on stage with the guys, and I think I only found one interview on YouTube with you.
Yeah.
So do you prefer to stay a bit more in the background?
I always did, yes.
Yeah.
I'm not really, I want to be in the front line at all. To be honest, I just like nerding in the studio and come up with things, and hopefully it works.
Yeah.
So yeah, I still love doing that.
Yeah. So do you have any idea how many copies have been sold of Play the Live during the years?
I mean, the last number I heard was many years ago, because now physical copies, not really. But we reached around 2 million of the single and 1 million of the album.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Which was physical-wise, but quite a lot for a record like that.
Yeah.
Which was amazing.
So I guess you have a lot of nice awards at home or in your studio.
Yes, I do.
Yeah. So which one is the most special for you?
I think the most special one is obviously the very first gold record from Denmark, which was like, okay, wow. I mean, and that year, we also have award shows in Denmark, like the equivalent of Grammys and whatnot. Mm-hmm. It's called the Danish Music Awards, and I mean, I won a music award for best producer. I mean, that sits with me forever.
Yeah, of course. Cool.
So I think that alone is just, I mean, it doesn't pay the rent or anything, but it's just a fond memory.
Yeah.
For a trance record.
Yeah. Speaking of memories, what is your favorite memory when it comes to the release of Play the Live?
My most favorite memory, there's a lot of memories, but I think the craziest one is probably that summer in 2000 when we had given the acetate to Judge Jules. We got invited to Ibiza to play at his Judgment Sundays, and that trip was something else.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it was kind of crazy, but it was a fun experience, and also because Play the Live is Play the Live, and Uffe and Morten, they refuse to not play live. Mm-hmm. So we had to figure out a way to set up all these drums at a club in Ibiza, play at 5 a.m, and the sound system had a huge delay. So when they hit the drum, it's like, and we had to figure out, okay, how can we play this? So Uffe and Morten actually, because they're so good at drumming, they're like, okay, we can manage this. So they practiced playing a little bit after.
Mm-hmm. And the crowd loved it, I guess.
Yes. I mean, that was really a fun trip, but there's been so many great memories, to be honest. I mean, this record opened so many doors for me, and I remember like ADE that year, everybody wanted to talk to me.
Yeah.
Which was fantastic.
Yeah, that's cool. So you're still very active in the music scene. You're part of the project Bort NS. What can you tell about that?
So Bort NS is a project with my friend Alexander Otten, and we met each other in 2004 because I was touring. I was playing all over the world with because of the success of Play the Live, and I had heard some tunes from this guy called Flipside. I'm like, this is really good. I need to figure out who that is. He won the remix competition for Above and Beyond. No, the Ocean Lab.
Yeah, Ocean Lab.
He won that.
Satellite?
Yeah. He won that competition. I'm like, holy shit, this is a good remix. I understand why they chose that one. And then he did remixes for like Commander Tom, and he did for Kiao and Albert. I'm like, fuck, this guy's great. I need him to do a remix of the new Safri Duo single, which was coming. I'm like, okay, I need to figure out who that guy is. So I got it through Kiao and Albert, got his email address, and I wrote to him, and turns out that he actually knew me from the music I did before Safri Duo.
Oh, that's a good thing.
So all the stuff I did with Alphabet City and all that. So we kind of clicked immediately, and we've been married ever since. We started making music, and we made a lot of remix, a lot of ghost productions, because that was kind of the thing, you know, like, okay, let's just, we never thought we were going to be artists. So in around 2010, we're like, fuck, we don't want to do this anymore. Yeah. Second time around, I'm like, okay, I'm quitting. I'm going to pursue something else, because it was just, the music industry was kind of weird at that time. And then we're like, okay, and he's really good at graphic design. So he worked with, he was building apps for phones and shit, all the graphic part. And then we're like, okay, so let's stop making music for everybody else and just do music for us. Make music that we want to play if we were an act. And we're like, okay, let's do that. And Alex, he really loved Pendulum, which is, you know, drum and bass rock fusion thing from Australia. And we're like, okay, let's do music like that. And then Skrillex came along, and we're like, oh, that's interesting. Let's try something like that, because we had always done trance or commercial dance stuff. So we kind of ventured into that, and for some weird reason, it became successful. So we got signed to a very small independent label, which wasn't really a record label, called Monstercat, and they are now one of the biggest labels with that kind of music, which is like bass heavy, kind of 8-bit, from 8-bits to drum and bass. You know, it's like bass music in general. So yeah, we did that, and we've been touring the world, and we've had a lot of fun, and we try from time to time to add some trance elements because we still love it. And when we go out and play, we always sneak out to the trance stages, you know. I'm still good friends with like Cosmic Gates. We always sneak out to see Cosmic Gate when they're playing, and it's a lot of fun.
So yeah, in the past you did collabs with names such as Knife Party, Nervo and Cruella already. Are there still people you would like to collaborate with for the Pegboard Nerds?
Oh yes, I mean there's still so many people that we admire, you know.
Yeah. But I guess also people reach out to you like, oh, do you want to collab?
Yes, yes, we do get that, of course. But I would say if I wanted to do something, it would be with my, you know, the people that I really looked up to, you know, back in the day.
Yeah.
So, like, it could be, who would it be, like Vincent D'Amour.
Yeah. Oh yes. Well, good luck finding him.
Yeah. I hear it's difficult to find.
Yeah.
But like for me, you know, those kind of guys that I really looked up to, and I'm like, oh my God, those are the greatest guys. I mean, even Ferry Corsten would be fun to do, like a weird hybrid thing. But it could be BT, it could be even Cosmic Gate, or, you know, all these.
BT is in Amsterdam now. He's here to Warhol.
Oh, we should actually go. We should go and find him.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, let's
track him down.
Yeah. So can we expect more new music from you soon as well?
Yes. I mean, we still with Pegboard NS, you know, release regularly. You know, just keep the brand going and doing stuff. So we try to venture into these new things, obviously. But there's also new Safri Duo coming.
Ah, nice. Yeah, you doubt. So what year was it released? 2000?
It was in 2000, yeah. Yeah, so we made the track in 2000, but it wasn't until 2001 it became
a hit. Yeah. Yeah. So what can you tell about the new Safri Duo? Well, it has percussion, I guess.
There will be drums.
I have a scoop.
Yeah, there will be. I mean, it's dance music, but obviously up to date sounding. Yeah. Will it be successful? I don't know. I hope.
Yeah.
I mean, today's music industry is difficult, you know. It's even for, you know, previously successful people, it's hard to break through the barrier of Spotify.
Yeah, that's true. So what else can we expect from you in the near future?
I'm just gonna try and, you know, stay on the path. I mean, we just started our own little label to, you know, to help younger people. You know, I'm getting older, so obviously I want to try and help other people reach their goals, because from back then when we started, you know, we had no YouTube, We had it was difficult. I mean, when we had our first record out 30 years ago, we had to send a cassette tape to Germany and wait for 2 months to get a reply by letter. Yes, we want to sign it. Okay, can you please send us your phone number? So we had to mail a physical letter with a phone number. So and that was just difficult back then. But it's just just want to try and help other people that we know that are really talented, but have a hard time.
Yeah, don't have like a knowledge to how everything works.
Yes.
And what is the name of the label?
It's called Nerd Nation.
Yeah. Oh, I like that.
Yeah. It's just Pegboard Nerds, and the funny thing, our name is an anagram of our last names. So my name is Parsberg, his name is Auden. So if you move the letters around, it becomes Pegboard Nerds.
Oh, I didn't know that, but that's cool. You see, I like nerdy things like this. So what kind of music do you listen to in your spare time?
I don't listen to music, not that much, because you get tired of listening to music. But to be honest, I like everything from classical music to 70s to 90s to trance I like everything. I mean, obviously right now everybody likes Fred again, and I like Fred again too. Yeah. So I would say that sound, and to be honest, I think the sound he's doing is really liberating, because he's not catering to anyone.
Yeah,
he's just doing music he likes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
and I really like that.
Yeah, I think that's the most important. That you make music also for yourself, and if other people like it, well, that's a nice bonus. Yeah,
most definitely.
Yeah,
most definitely.
Yeah. And the last question: pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
That's a tricky one. I would say Alex and we talk about it a lot when we go on tours, and it's the question that comes up most often is that. And in the beginning, I was a no, Alex was a yes, but now I'm a maybe.
Oh, a maybe. Okay. Oh, I never had someone say maybe, so that's good.
Yeah.
Well, thanks a lot for your time, and good luck with everything.
Thank you.
Alright, that was it. This week's vlog, my interview with Michael Parsberg, and the story behind Played Alive, the Bongo Song by Safri Duo. Michael, thanks a lot for your time. Much appreciated. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed the vlog. If you did, make sure to give this video a like, leave a comment in the comment section below, and very important, make sure to subscribe. Also make sure to click the bell button, because then you will get a notification the next time a new vlog is online. Once again, thanks for watching, and until next time, bye bye.